10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. EG's turn to ban.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to MarsTV Dota 2. We are in the lower bracket final, and it's come down to this. Game number 3. Going against OG here. And one team is get the grit to move on and face up against Noob in the grand final. Will it be EG with a rematch, or will it be OG? Our answer will be coming within the next 30 to 80 minutes. So, depending on what kind of draft we'll see before us here. Let's see. That's Ben. What's game 3? Your tournament life. Where do you pull out now? You want to guarantee a win. Some people are like,
well, they thought it was OD last game.
That was OD.
Oh,
but
OD.
It looked like it based on the start of the draft. They were prepared for it.
Yeah, it looks like
all the OD and they're like, okay, go deep. Drow, we're good. Don't worry about it. Oh, Oracle, whatever. And it looked like they guessed right, or they
the Oracle. I think they overrated. I think Shadow Demon's like a much better all-around support, but Oracle just like way too much single target stuff as a support. Because they offer too much. Like, if your cores aren't strong, there's no point in picking Oracle. Like that game, he had to use some stealer just to make him even look somewhat okay in the game.
And we'll see another
game
where we're going to get the Batrider right off the bat. S4 Classic. Every freaking game you see. And
why not?
Yeah, why not though? I mean, the guy plays a good Batrider, and even that last game, that was one of his more toughest trials in the offline. He had breaking up in your face, but he withstood. He came out, and he still found the Lassos. S4 has been tested, and now will be retested. EG are going to file into a Kunkka. Will we see a Shadow Demon pair with it? Or were they going to go with something else? We'll have to see. OG have continued, though, to spam the Wisp every game. I don't fault them for that. In the last meeting in the group stage, EG had it all 3 games. And they are going to pick Shadow Demon. Double, even by me. So I'm sure OG might have been prepared for it. And they go right to Naga. Oh, Lord. A Naga game for games to Ben.
Very good versus the Kunkka. I still don't think it has to be a core. I know they like to run on a no-till a lot, but I think support Naga is going to rise a lot in stock. Now that Kunkka is still popular and it's fallen off like some of the other support we've seen in this most recent patch. And overall, just a nice setup hero. There's so many options you have open when you song setup.
And they've already committed now, DG, with their 2 supports. They don't have the luxury, like OG at least, attempted to have with picking up something like Lion, say. So I don't know if that means they have to... They probably have to at least look at it in some of their other options now. A way to deal with the Naga, regardless of core or support. The Ocean gaming can be a problem if you're falling into that type of game, and more than not, it seems like we do. We're in these 70, 80-minute games, and they're crammed inside their own base crying.
Could be anti-mage again. I wouldn't be that surprised if EG went for AM.
It is plausible.
I don't know. They haven't seemed to like incorporate RTZ very well into the lineup. It kind of seems like I don't know. The chemistry just hasn't quite been there yet.
Would you say it still seems RTZ's best position mid lane? Or do you think
it's just not
where he is?
It's easy to see. It's like, oh, it's not for him, but you don't know what the issue is. Sports aren't well around him. Maybe he's not adjusting well to the role. He's not making the support. Like a lot of things, but it's clear that it just seems something's a little bit off out in his position inside the team.
Could be a lot of things. A lot of things. We gotta remember all aspects of it. This is the first real LAN of a lot of these new rosters. These teams have pretty much a lot of really bad scrim practice experience coming into this. So now you're in like a winter bracket final, and you're laughing now for it, but the stakes are high. And this is when your team really gets tested, and you think of all those different things. Is it RTZ back at the corner? Oh, we're so silly and we're in love. Is it RTZ being at the core position, unfamiliar with being there without having that hard fight support, the PPD. Where's our PPD? I mean, you have Crit and Zai have both been real strong, formidable 4 positions, but who really knows? It could be a factor of all those things, whatever it may be. You need to find what their game is here, because they're going to be tested as the Naga comes out. Second phase, get rid of the Elder Titan and the Keeper of Life.
Man,
Wow.
Morphling would have been real good for Ichi. It works very well with Shadow. Very good against that Rider and the Nox Siren. Regardless of whether or not it's a core.
And they're going to get rid
Oh,
of this is going to be a... Outside of those options, I mean, we've seen Arteezy on Slark and Terrorblade and maybe Ursa, I think, for the game.
I think Luna's fine too, actually.
Yeah, Luna's also still out there. A very good pairing with Shadow Demon.
And good too. I think like one of Luna's worst weaknesses is that she's just like super fragile if it jumped on. Kunkka boat.
I mean, there's got to be something though to be careful about, like Illusion's Eclipse being sucked up by the...
I think the timing of Luna is way earlier than Naga Siren. You can start pushing T1, T2 like very on, and siege T3s very early. Constant spam Illusions is not really gonna be that effective versus the Apes too. I think Luna's like in theory it's decent because you can end the game early and put down towers very early, but even late I think she matches up well. You just do so much damage that like the Illusions don't matter. She's really weak for the strong target cores like I think it's like made up on Luna with your Equilibre and Luna's gonna collapse. But versus heroes like Naga Siren, there comes where you spawn any illusions like Kia actually decent against Luna because PL just spawns illusions way too fast for her to clear. But Naga is kind of in the middle of like her illusions aren't strong enough and her single hero herself is not strong. But a lot of this depends on not actually being a. Okay.
Thank God it worked out. Now we have to say. Now we're gonna be quiet for 2 minutes.
It's important to
go in. It's like second base in China. Good for him. Oh, poor thing is very embarrassed. She's just not a Luke fan, I think. But it's gonna have to work here for EG. I was actually considering if they were sweating out their option for Universe here in Alpha because Naga limits those options severely.
You don't sweat out. You don't sweat out Universe's position. That's like a player at least worried about.
Well, I mean,
you haven't banned out any of his heroes.
I don't really need to. They don't have to put the hit in it because like can't do really.
But you're not sweating it. You might consider it, but you're not sweating. Like Beastmaster, I think is very good. Good with the Luna. Good using high ground. Good against Bat Rider. Like good a lot of Naga Siren. It's like you can always fall back on something like the Beastmaster or the Axe, even if you so decide. So it's like whatever.
Then that Fly Witch comes out. Beastmaster's totally countered.
They need iron on. So what? So there's always something you can do with Beastmaster. That's the thing.
Poor stream was lagging a bit though. We'll get back to it if it behaves a bit more. But you're just only really missing out on EG's faces here. As we go back to they have been working all the way through their clock on this one, and it looks like they're going to go back to what looks like the Storm Spirit.
I think that's a sign of push. Like as soon as you see Storm Spirit, I think you're just like, okay, it's an end game, or kind of like you did each last game.
What about picking the Storm into a Kunkka?
Ooh,
okay,
I forgot.
Double hard counter right now. So now you have an X Assassin and a Kunkka for the
and Bat Rider too. Oh,
walking over the Firefly. Many ways for X Assassin to be able to kind of shut down the Bat Rider tracks.
Very good against Naga Siren core.
Solid grab.
Yeah. It is. It is indeed.
Not one we get to see Universe play very often. He played it, but I didn't.
Sinel plays it too, I got that.
Mid lane?
Yeah.
Assassin?
His actually surprisingly too.
Oh my. Could they do that? Would they do that? Would they do that here and now? 3. Put a Nyx in the middle against Storm. It's plausible. That's going to be the next choice here by OG.
Looks more like Naga Siren core than with the Dazzle. Very strong flame. And very, I think, good against the Nyx Assassin too. The Dazzle heal bomb is incredibly good, taking down single heroes.
seconds
And
remaining.
we have to look here. Final bans to be coming out. EG have their what is suspected to be Universe / Sumo Hero left, while the side of OG looking to close it out with her position grab for Jarix.
OG's turn to
Scared of the Huskar.
And they don't really have, they have, I guess, but no, we don't see not Oscar really on the same team too often. But I
Right,
guess
it would have not pairing.
best. I mean, I guess if Oscar's
10 seconds
chaos
remaining.
and doing a lot by himself is not going to do her business until the Huskers needs.
But they would not part in that case.
OG's
If the
turn to
Huskar.
pick.
Oh yeah. We'll know for sure. Final ban is a Timber Suck. So
I think also go back to Silencer, like Silencer, so a couple teams run. Very good versus Shadow Demon, like
10
it's very good versus next assassin too. You get to do global and none of the heroes can use their difficult cooldown. With the Luna like dead to rights, like you're not gonna be able to counter initiate the battle or the storm. I like it a lot, but I don't know if it's something that they do very often.
and so he's go now. So we'll know in a moment if this is going to be an
10
until game, and it looks like it will. Final grab is going to Jarix Earth Spirit here. I mean, of course, always has the valued tools you'd love it support to have here. I think it really reaches out to me that like they need Earth Spirit to drive, but hey, you got Earth Spirit on the same team.
10 seconds
Tremendous initiations, disengages, good hectic team fight there. I mean, they had pretty much no real team fight.
It makes the
Until Earth
mid
Spirit is
lane,
their
it
magnetized.
makes the mid lane a lot more difficult too. EG Storm plus Earth Spirit, like very strong versus a melee like Nyx. So if they were thinking about running next mid, they probably have to throw in the off lane.
They're gonna grab an Alchemist at the end. It's gonna be Alchemist for the Naga game. Oh my.
Alchemist ramps up very quickly.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's like a.
It's not a race. Like it's
Definitely a race.
I mean, it's a race, but race where Alchemist has got a pretty good head start typically, and they give him like super nice track shoes for free. I don't know, but obviously means the switch up to be there. There's an intended switch up or not universe on the Nyx assassin now, and we'll have to see if things are gonna work out. Earth Spirit can still get the jump and cause a bit of chaos on someone like Alk in the mid lane. It's not like he already has his ult to kind of shrug off the damage.
Yeah, I think Zai's gonna have to sit there in the early game.
Zai's definitely going to have to be hanging around a bit, which of course means that he can't be the extra force to kind of pull back the rider, and we'll just have to see what kind of implications are going to be caused because of the extra attendance to the mid lane as we get underway. It's game number 3 of the final match between EG and OG. Winner to move on and face the grand final. Loser to go home, leave China.
That's kind of pretty much winning.
It is winning too, except when you leave China, you leave a bit richer. You might not have the money at that point though, but you'll leave with brain rights and probably a cool trophy. Probably a Reaver, right? I want to say that the trophy's a Reaver.
Battle Fury.
Battle Fury, whatever.
I don't know.
The TI
Not sure what
probably,
it is,
the
yeah.
major probably owns Reaver.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Okay, EG taking a page out of Secret's book. They do the 5-man movement right down mid lane, and they cross pass. Stun comes out, all in the back of the disruption play onto Ana. Can they get the finish? They can. And here we go, folks. Game 3 action underway. Jarek sees the brunt of the damage, hides around trees, but the Glazers are going to be coming through and they get that kill. Also, good torrent connected to S4. A follow-up secondary stun is going to be there onto 2. As another one's going to get dropped, it makes it 3 all day from OG. They're also going to be looking for no take. Will they actually somehow make it 4 before the 1 minute mark? Yes, they will. Have it out nice. That's the into a stun, and EG are here to play in game 3. 5-0, man.
Oh
As
my god.
the horn goes out. Where's the good luck? Have fun.
Disgusting. They thought they could take the fight because Napalm's pretty strong at level 1.
And they're
at
gonna
the
one
healer.
Roche. No, I'm just kidding.
But the... Oh my god, the acid spray plus the Luna Glaze does so much damage that fight. I don't think I've ever seen a 5-0 wipe at the start.
0 wipe at the start. That is crazy.
That was crazy. That was some nice stuns by Universe.
Okay, we never see this before, but let's try to theory-craft. What is this going to... Is this a difference in the link phase?
Of course it is. I'm trying to Oh, level 1 right now.
1 half.
I mean, that's a big deal when you're talking about a violence.
I'm not looking to even give OG the opportunity to recover from the power peak that each of them already got to themselves. Right? And they show and their huge aggressive lane here in the bottom. They get another kill on the flank. They take out his ward. And OG just they hit hard. It's like one of those things like in the fight. Okay, shake hands. Oh, they push him in the face and said, "We're ready to fight."
Yeah, it's got side kick from kickoff.
Well, really looking to just take the initiative in Game 3, and then my God, we have 6-0 already. And we'll have to see if
No
we can
kill.
shake it off. Oh, in trouble again, bottom lane. RTC opens him up with a loose beam. That leads to another torrent, and they just swarm around. He makes his own little illusion spring, try to walk out. They're down again. RTC is dominating now. He is 4-0-2 on the Luna. 1.5 minutes. So, Ben, sounds like a dream.
They had really nice coordination. It looked like a straightforward on the Nog there, but they did a lot of things. They threw some beams to the torrent as the could get in position to torrent right there to the destruction. It also stopped her from mirroring, which would have bought her some time to. They need to identify which one was the one to disrupt, and then after loosen beam again so that he could mirror image. But they got so much damage on her before he was actually able to split.
And now AG are just kind of reaping all the benefits from the crazy start to this one now.
It does not feel like 20 seconds in.
No, it does not.
There's
And
a lot of things that can
all the
happen.
data shows that it's not that early in the game.
There's a like Storm can easily like get a kill rune and ruin the flame. Like there's a lot of things that happen. But yeah, 7-0 is it's not a joke.
Not at all here. It could just prove to be a bit more fragile for people like Jared's Earth Spirit, who was just hoping to have a hot start.
Like 2 bounty runes for Alchemist, like 1 chicken kill. That's GG.
Oh, that was fun. Jared just kicks the universe to the low ground. Forces him to run up and around, but the problem is they have Zai waiting in the wings, and he's going to pop him off with a torrent. It's going down, and they don't stop there. There's the pullback, and the torrent where S4 is going to be walking out from.
It's just one of those games
Oh,
where
it's just one of those games? Like, what is this?
We thought that Tiki was gonna like just snowball each way to victory last game, so
Yeah.
that we were clearly mistaken about that. But this is
One of the most one-sided early starts to a pro game, I mean, for sure. But based on the amount of kills going the way of EG,
on everything.
kills are not everything.
Not defense of the scoreboard.
Defensive deaths. This is. We'll have to see though, is Sumail going to be peppering out some asses shots here. He's only about a little under a level away from where Ana currently is. But I imagine that
Wait, is
Zai is not going to be slowed down. He's been all over every lane up to this point. And it looks like he's going to continue that trick here. Getting down to the middle. But well, how has RTZ been? Just seeing all these ridiculous kills. It looks like he has the Helm of Iron Will. And now kind of just controls the whole mid lane. And so is making moves. He's at mid lane. Connecting with Torrent and just casually picks up with a little bit of a DD. And
he's to be fair.
Alright, casual walk was under a smoke, yes.
Yeah. Where is Jerax going?
Just pulling it away from the tower.
Yeah, but I mean, he probably could have died.
He
because
might
of
need that rolling bolt soon, is the problem. But looks like trouble's not coming yet. Zai's watching that area, but he has not decided to move forward yet. It's a level 4 5% who's been pretty much in every lane already.
And he stood there to block.
Ooh, so. S4 gets back to his lane, and then I returns to his mid lane post, but it can certainly be sure that OG we're not expecting to have a start like this. Is now Jarix needs to find a new home to kind of be able to make any sort of early game impression. OG are just curious where they're going to be able to first. But It's really been a lot on Zai here. Okay, King's out, mid lane. I thought I was getting ready to kind of pull the trigger for that one, but...
No, Tail hasn't died in it. This is good for them.
Yeah, no, it's still just casually farming bottom lane. I mean, there's respect between both sides of Naga and Luna here.
Look at the CS though. CS is very high. 25 CS.
25 is high, but, you know, 41 is higher.
Yeah, but you're comparing him to Luna. Luna minus 31.
And Luna... close to a little sick.
Universe walks under reward.
Uh-oh. Volt smash. That's going to be up. Jared cursing that Mighty Frog, slowing down the kick. Not going to be the connection, but gets actually made. Connect all because of it. And you're going to have to pull off way, so.
Where was the pullback? On X.
I think that's silence there.
Oh, he did? Okay.
The grip got 3 of them.
I only saw it catch a couple.
And that meant that EG were not going to be able to follow with any sort of response play. Sumel's now at the top, going to be working through the jungle here. There's no pre-made stacks, sort of stacks he already took down. But he's not going to be deterred a bit, and RT is swapped spots. He's going to up top lane now, working between the lane and jungle. This means Universe can go back to the off lane. He's already at his own level 6. Always came a bit short and at the bottom lane, but has it up now if they want to get any sort of new approach.
Yeah, it was important for RTZ to move. The Luna's still very vulnerable despite being up 10 kills. He can still die to a Storm. Storm was level 6 at that point, so putting him in safe lane just makes much likely that he's gonna die. A hero that has much better defense. Spells such as Nyx to chill down there.
Alright, Jerix blocked out 1, but 2 different camps now. Knowing and recognizing that Spells moved into the kind of coming on up. They're looking to nerf down farming potential quite a bit. So we'll get rid of all those resources. But it looks like have just kind of stepped away from the lane to the side of EG. This allows No Tail to kind of take over the bottom lane and he'll be the bulk seriously on Naga here.
But wrapping around on the Spirit though, they need some way to actually get him with the stun though.
There's some range there, but
that's too risky.
Ana is very deep under the tower. And I'm not sure if that's a comfortable spot. Ooh, RTZ walks in for Jared. Be able to get the rolling boulder off before it could be blocked.
Universe going through, his vendetta is way too short of duration.
So OG haven't been caught since the ridiculous early, and EG have kind of content with that early initiative and kind of just decided to think down, do farm up until level 6s. I'm sure are in order here. As about 9 minutes in, tomes are going to be out here. We can see, Crick is level 6 now, and Zai closer to work with. Purge and all that good stuff. Let's see how much action they can go for. All right, X is gotta get can't left. On up the good power bolt to be able to avoid the trouble in the pullback.
You're very nice. Time beat. So we may get for a kill on RTZ.
There's no lasso. It's 4, but Derek now has level 6 and now has Magnetize. Oh, but at the same moment, he could be bait. He's here now. Zai, no boat though. So that's going to be the method committed. There's going to be the boulder smash. Eclipse is going to get fired. Jerix sees a lot of the damage, but he lives on. So now he gets forward. He's going to start chunking down the stones. He gets a new one refreshed onto RTZ. That could be enough. Zai is going to get finished off, but oh no, he lives. Even boats himself just to be safe. Keeps him fine. RTZ's also good. They will take down Jerix, but
that was a nice
close.
Nice call from EG. It seemed like they called it Kunkka, but if Kunkka hadn't TP when he did, that would have been a much more sticky situation.
Universe strikes in the mid lane, and it will allow him to get the takedown. Tried to lead it in with the Carapace stun off. Didn't get that one, but was able to connect with the stun instead. And
when are they going to get a kill, dude?
I don't know. Who's going to get the kill for him? At this point in the game, you'd think it'd be Earth Spirit, getting kills in the landing phase, but yeah, that is not going to happen now. Derek has already skipped over that point and is already in his magnetized state. And even those opportunities are falling short, so I guess you're making on either your Storm Spirit beginning to just ball forward or S4 somehow finishing off the funding for his Blink deck.
He's getting there.
He's getting there. got about like 1400, but you're going to be sharing the jungle with No Tails Naga, who is still working towards the Sacred Relic. Look who already has his It's done! Oh man, that's right, it is an Alchemist.
11. That's even with skipping the Soul Ring.
He's
too.
got a solid 2. All the good stuff here. Looks like defense is for No Tail. You see the support duo of EG makes it in trouble. And now G are not going to feel good about moving into the jungle.
They're to the north. TD, if you retreat back up, is dead.
He has company here. They're chasing for Ana. The rest of the team. Bold Smash is not going to be able to connect. Now moves the rolling boulder. Pops out the magnetize. I don't know how many stones he's going to have left while they're able to quickly take out the. That is going to be crippling to OG. And magnetize or not, they continue to move on in, and they're going to quickly execute on it. Looking stun on the Jarix. Right click to be there. Radiance burn is on, and 4 going to get wiped. They will lose Arteezy there at the end. But he again come out with a huge power fight.
Taking bad for OG. Yes, for 2 of the kills.
Was it after his death though?
I think it was before 2 of them. Yeah, the rum was wearing off and they were all standing under Firefly and they all burned.
Well, OG gets 3 kills here, but it's not going to make as much of a as they're going to be hoping for.
Things aren't bad. All things. If you quick to be behind versus Alchemist.
I mean, if they can get a kill on the Alchemist, then I like. And they actually have to get a lasso on him. They pull him back under the tower. Boat though flies through from Zai, which certainly will help. That, along with the ultimate there for your Al, it is going to be very, very hard to bring him down. And they will be able to pull him all back out after the ultimate. With armlets, he's brought down to pretty much none of his life. But he will survive. Tower won't get denied though from OG. They'll lose out on that goal, but I mean, just the Alchemist is certainly one of the best kind of the games you can ask for at this point. Look at his net worth above everyone else. Easily up.
Not though, she's very close to her relic. Gold. They've been able to farm this camp constantly. They had a reserve reward over there, EG did, but they couldn't do anything about it for the entirety of the duration.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, it'll always be the factor that if they can get the Alch down, it's gonna be such an but
look at that fatty stack though. Whew.
Ancient stack up there, but top lane, disruption on for S4. There's gonna be the purge, and suddenly a roll of Jarix is gonna make the move. He gets the 2-man stun connection, then follows up with the magnetize. He already knows that crit's gonna be gone, so he's made the move for Universe next. And that should lead to his takedown, and suddenly OG have been able to string together 5 kills in the past minute. And they're not going to be following up with a tier 1 takedown. These are free funds going their way. Recovery from the rough start. And that's Jarix just doing his Earth Spirit thing. You know, I love his connection. He's already spotted out Universe, and he makes the Boulder Smash count as he connects from both of them. Those are those subtle kind of differences you see in the different Earth Spirit players. They'll get it done. Roche, though, is going to be the trade, as EG will grab that one up. And as you were pointing out just before that fight, is a big old stack here is also going to be taken. And it looks like it'll go the way of Arteezy. So we got 2K saved up. And this will get him to his next item that much more. What do you think it could be? Meta? Do you think a BKB is already going to be necessary when you're going against both spirits? Naga Song?
Yeah, he doesn't really build BKB this early, generally. I think he might go a little bit greedy and just go to Yasha. He has the age though, but he definitely doesn't need BKB at this very moment. I think Yasha, even Butterfly Rush is sometimes like very, very good. You farm so good with the Butterfly. And it gives you move speed too, so you're not losing out on that much by not getting a Yasha. But I think Yasha's just safe, standard, not build Manta later to help Siege, along with your army of illusions from Shadow Demon.
Well, for now, Arteezy will hold on to his 3,600 gold, and we'll wait to see if Eagle Song or something else does tend to get picked up, or the Yasha straight out. Looks to be the case. It's en route now, so let's call on that.
No, very close to his radiant stuff. Just needs one more minute of alone time, of me time, me and creeps.
I'd imagine that this time EG do have a better method in dealing with the Naga Siren, though. You got Kunkka to help a bit. Spray.
Luna's really
all right.
good. Luna's just
Luna's just stupendous.
yeah.
So even though they're gonna get this Naga into Naga mode here, it's not good.
Luna's already in Luna mode.
Yeah, right. The Asha going, and now mid lane scratching onto the 2. We keep eyes at mid lane because that's where OG have been perched up, but EG are not hanging around that area too much longer. They've already headed back down.
Get that chicken snipe.
Get that chicken. No, they're not even going to get it. They were anticipating that, I guess, EG were walking back down the lane.
The creeps were right there. It would have been very
I mean,
awkward.
OG have invested in even these very deep wards to scout it out, but EG have been in this bottom lane finishing out this tier 2. It looks like they'll grab it up. OG continue to wait, man. They are perched, and they are hoping that someone's going to cross their way.
Wow, Universe.
He's very close.
Jeez.
But just walk by as if there's not a care in the world. Surely by now EG are like, okay, OG are missing. But it looks like they'll be able to get the vision now.
That mover is very common. You smoke onto like the north side of that T1, and then you place a couple of wards, and you just kind of perch there and take vision of the opponent's jungle. It's a very good move when you're behind or when you're ahead. Just when you want control of the map. But too often the observer ward is placed in between the mid T1 and T2, and it's dewarded. This time they've opted for observer wards outside of the T1 and outside of the T2 to ensure that they stay up. They really need good vision so they can get easy picks with the Batrider and the Storm Spirit. But EG is giving them no opportunity to gather it up around the Luna with the Aegis.
That phase of blinking Batrider and jumping Storm has for now been just totally put on hold. Like, it's just not a thing.
Alchemist is
Alchemist is the
he's
thing.
fat.
Alchemist is the thing, and he's the center of attention in this game. And then just behind him will be Arteezy, and then the Naga. But it's all Sumail right now that needs to be worried about. And if OG are going to be putting a lot of their focus onto him, you know, they'll be in Earth for Awakening. He's not going to be easy to take down. You have Shadow Demon Disruption, you have Kunkka. Not going to be an easy time, but EG are on the approach here, and only about 18 minutes in, they're looking to do some work into the high ground on the back of Arteezy with his Aegis.
Disrupt them! They could have gotten a lot more damage than Tower had they disrupted him, but maybe he wanted to save it for a more opportune time.
Yeah, he's like saving it for a save or something. Okay, there he goes. Disruption on the Menta of the Alchemist, and suddenly Alks are just running around everywhere.
Yeah, but no damage on the T3. Yeah, that was a waste. I think they could have gotten a lot more structural damage done there.
And maybe it's just feeling a bit easy with committing on anything. Didn't want to risk. I mean, I don't know. I guess OG have the song. If they wanted to kind of make any sort of out-base defense, and EG were just focused a bit too much on where their positioning was and what could have been a problem, and didn't really focus too much on moving forward with their own objective.
They scanned where Earth Spirit is right now, and then it pinged red, so they were expecting a smoke through the Radiant Ancients to their top side, and that's why they're just waiting right there. But they're wrong about the smoke. He was just dropping wards. Now they're moving to the north side. They think it's taken them too long if they were smoked to go through the south, so now they're taking that a long way. But now the smoke timing's passed, they could feel at ease.
Yeah, EG beginning to crawl their way up here. OG know that they still have this tier 1, and EG are going to be looking for it, so OG could be setting up here. And it looks like it will. Ana's also on the scene. All of OG coming to attend to this one. This could be a big definitive fight. Escort's gonna make the move, but the Carapace is there from Universe and insta shuts him down. Oh, the power of the Nyx.
Yeah.
Really shows itself there, man. Universe so fast on the trigger with that one. Wonderfully done. And just as fast as he dies, the whole G's like, okay, we're done here. And they pull out of that top lane, and they're like, yeah, that's it.
What a counter initiation.
That was just exactly why you get a Nyx against a Batrider. Really cannot say anything else about it. And now EG are going to feel pretty good not worrying about the lasso. They'll take the tier 1, and they'll begin to go to work here on the tier 2. And suddenly, OG, 20 minutes in, are going to be left without any outer towers. Not what you want to hope for, especially if you've got a Naga lineup. But they will do what they can to cheese their way through these side lanes in the meantime. Oh, Crit's dead, by the way. They get a good jump and a good splat right there. And he gets caught out.
I think it's gem time for each. They're taking down all the towers now. They just need to continue farming while not getting picked off. And it's best to do that when the opponents have no vision.
Could be it. I don't know. Unless EG want to go very, very safe and wait for the gem and wait for the Roche.
Oh, I think you just get the gem. You don't have to like push. You just need to take down their wards so you don't get free picks like that. The only reason Crit dies there is because they have vision of him, and he knows that. He just doesn't have enough gold at the moment, or perhaps wants to finish up his Glimmer Cape. Make sure this game doesn't go south.
EG are making some new stacks that they are protecting from Naga's illusions, and still holding on to OG's woods here. And as we all know, obviously that really means that the support staff of OG are not going to be blessed with any sort of farm here moving forward, as Naga's pretty much going to take up all the bread scraps that are left. It's a shame. I mean, Derek's saving up a lot of money, 1,800 gold. Could probably just be going for the big bagger, but when you know the game is going to be this fast, just get nags, I guess. Kick this into your fountain. Hope for that. Uh-oh, looks like Zai has come across Ana here, is trying his best to pull him back, gets him with the torrent. Boat will fly through, and will this stall things out long enough for Universe to show up? It will. Jumps in, Carep his stun, two-man stun. And they're persistent, man. They want to get Zai down. They commit the magnetized port. They will be able to get the grab. Now S4 with the follow-up, goes for crit, gets that too, but now the cores are coming out, and that is when OG needed the call, and that's going to be the Song Retreat. And we'll have to settle with just taking down a couple of supports. But it cost them the Song, pretty much all of Ana's mana, Lasso, a Magnetize.
Totally worth. Storm had his Bloodstone there, the fight too. So picked up a couple free charges, got their get out of jail free card with the Naga Siren, and they didn't even lose anyone.
Yeah, I mean, with the first take down to crit, he's got 3 charges to pick up. He's got 15 now. And we saw what kind of use he was able to make out of a decently charged Bloodstone in the previous game.
He still has to watch out for Nyx though, and Nyx can easily get pulled in Ags this game by the Alchemist. So it's even more devastating perhaps than a normal Nyx versus Storm
They
game.
have found Dazzle! Oh!
That value Dazzle kill with a plus 12 on the greed.
Man.
Value.
And that happened so fast, it could have been just any other Alchemist creep, but poor Dazzle will have to wait it out 20 seconds before he can join his teams once again. EG now.
Arteezy went for Lincolns again?
Oh, on a Luna, huh?
Yeah, scared of that. It's fine, I suppose.
I mean, Lincoln's means one item will be useless for them. Oh! And they're going to make the jump already for Ana, who happen to be out the front door. They get a good stun, but that and the Purge are not going to be enough to stop Ana in his tracks. They'll be able to bounce back it away. We'll have to fill up a bit, but Arteezy needs to go to work. Sieging away at the tier 3. OG. Tournament lobby defended up another stun on S4 as he makes the lasso play. Plus like a disruption. Here comes the boat, and it's going to annihilate S4. EG. Shrug off assault from OG.
He is so fast with those stuns. Like, Universe just... Like, not only is Nyx a good hero versus the Bat Rider, like, he is so incredibly fast at countering S4's first moves.
I mean, obviously, Universe is a Bat player himself. I'm sure you read these situations and you'd be like, well, if I was the Bat, this would look like a good time to jump in. I don't know, maybe he just has it ready to go.
The Linkage also really helps because he stunned where the Bat Rider lasso or blinked into the lasso. Normally you'd have the Force Staff up and you can just escape the Impale. But because of the Lincolns, he has to Force Staff the Luna, so you pop the Lincoln and then lasso, but then you can't escape back to your team post. That's why he was able to get off that Impale.
And now we have EG with an ace here, and all the confidence they could ask for here, riding back the coattails of a near 23k net worth Alchemist. That is 10k, just about 10k above where both the Luna and the Naga are. Here comes EG. And OG put in a serious hurt.
They're playing a safe, they're waiting for
game.
Nyx. Buying time. They need their counter initiator just in case Bat gets a good one off.
Oh yeah, they do. That's one of OG's best chances, really. It's S4 getting a wonderful hog tie pull back into the base. Here's Arteezy though, back into the high ground this time with that Aegis. and begins to chop away. Torrent almost catches on the jump in. Arteezy eats a lot of shots, but is still going to be holding his extra life. OS4 waiting around on the back end of his Firefly. Sumail's in next to out that tier 3. Both actions are there. Universe's jump is going to be a stun for Jerix. S4 could look for the opening, but his Firefly is now concluded. Jerix is going to have to get a Shallow Grave to stay alive, and now No Tail pulls out the song, spreads out the illusions, but not going to be doing a whole lot on the offensive. Now Ana making the jump in, looking to go for crit. Jumps out, avoids the stun, jumps back in, but this time can't avoid too much. There's going to be the grave to save the pullback though. Has to jump out for a third time to make it away from trouble. And then the Dazzle going to be eating the Warpath as the Eclipse flies forward. They almost get the burst onto No Tail, onto Ana, but they will just be forced instead to go back inside the fountain where it's safe. While EG begin to go to work on the racks. They see S4 and they quickly take him out. He's going to be forced to buy back now. OG looks stay alive in the tournament with jumping in, gets the pullback crit. Can't get the finish yet. Gets knocked in the head with the Lucid Beam and will go down. 15 seconds left. Thanks to that stone.
Well, you called it. You said it was going to be a race, and EG are sprinting across the finish line as they clean up the remnants of OG's base, and they have little fight left in them. S4 just
man, that had been the story. Every jump in by S4 is quickly answered by EG, and that is going to lead to takedown now. Nope, it's going to get dropped. He's going to have to buy it here on his final Harava defense. Is going to be forced grave and back to mountain once again. As No shows up, he is just going to get shredded apart. Sumail, the man, the beast, rushes him and patrols, guides him back to the mountain. Look at the kickback from Jerix. Cute little play there. We'll get down into the ground. But when you see the base of OG, you are heartbroken now as they lost 2 sets of racks and they can't get on the way out. They're looking to go for crit. He gets off the disruption, but Ana is not done yet. He makes the full commitment, and they will be able to take the Shadow Demon now. It is a hard hit to the chin for OG.
It's very cloud strategy throughout the tournament. Like, we constantly saw, like, the first cool by EG, and then a counter, and then now we see, like, OG falling back time and time again on the Naga. And in this game, they're like, you guys want farm? Okay. Farm. Alchemist at our side.
And farm faster.
And back down at 27 minutes. Well, faster. Get your radiant, but it's not gonna. I have radiant.
Yeah, I'll have plus this, and this. And our team over there has this and this, and life as well. And on the blue side of things,
And of course, good play to implement the items.
yeah, of course. I mean, now there's a bit of pause before EG are ramping up for either finishing this one out or OG ramping for sort of comeback play. I think first 8 or 10 kills or whatever actually mattered in the picture.
Pretty
Big picture.
sizable.
You think sizable?
Well, I think they huge have a pretty big window, you know, for the dog side. Like Naga's like at least 20, and then Alchemist free farming will get like radius in between like 9 and like maybe like 10 or 12. And then you can push with your +5 Naga still like in transition in between Radiance, bots, Manta. So you have like a good 10 minutes. I think the early 10 kills extend that window at like a good 5-6 minutes, which is like 50-60% more than normal. Just
Yeah.
a very large thing in Dota. Just like Roshan, for the like actually have items in case like there's a slight step in. Degree of Kunkka is a really big deal this game, and on top of the degrees,
Totally different build than we've seen really anywhere else. I mean, all about getting like Armament Fighter build for others, like, you know, getting the Aether Lantern.
that's because
But
they
this
need
one,
to
yeah.
push. And the other day he went for Tidebringer. This gets only one Tidebringer, which I think is a nice addition to the core of their strategy.
Heck of just a wonderful hero. He's turned one of the best in the game with all the ridiculous tools he brings to the table.
They don't have enough damage. They had another game to like input to do scaling. Dazzle is just like too slow ramp up, and there's too many items on EG, and then like Spear's like by damage as is like the battle.
Oh, just spotted as 4 rolls right
Not
over
again.
his Firefly with the Carapace and takes him down. OG are just on the prowl in hopes of catching anyone farming and end up losing a life themselves.
Look at his though. As soon as he gets that kill, he's back. He doesn't look like a +1 with his Yules. He's just like, okay, I'm heal and just end the game right now because they can.
All right, Batter out for 28 seconds.
Dire as you scan. Something is up over there too. He didn't even walk in. Ooh. He's right on the edge of the scan.
I mean, scan minimap AoE, that yeah. Jerickson not going to be split out by that one, and EG seemed to kind of head and read the map. And now look up the blow, the final center rack, and trip to move to the grand final in a rematch against Newbie. Unless OG can stop him, will he close this one out? Here comes the song, and this could be no looking to lead off. He's in the back, looking for the support staff here. Slide any sort of blade movement. And now it's still Sumail and Arteezy on the track. They are going to be able to take down Crit in the back side, but that hasn't stopped the cores yet. S4 is going to get the grab. It's on Arteezy. There's the pull all the way in. Arteezy pops up the Eclipse and his BKB, and then rushes on back and through the boat. Coming up from Zai. Keeps him alive and well. Now it's going to be spider pressure. Step back zone with the torrent. Now moving in. It's also square up. Forward. And that is it. EG are going to get back. And you're just going to take the support kit. And that's it. You don't take the tier 3 for it. They're looking for more. There's going to be the grab. Ana, he gets the jump off. Does he have enough mana to make it back inside the base? Yes, he does. And get the focus. For the first turn in, they're going to clear out tier 3. But that was OG's song. And I don't think they have a bigger trap card than they're willing to pull out though.
Nah, they had that with the Naga sleep into a kick to do their spirit, but there's a BKB on the Luna. There is a lot of items out right now. Even a perfectly executed combo like that is not gonna put them ahead of the edge of the fight.
Alright, they get a quick ball onto Crit, and then they actually spot out easy to go for him again. Who's there once again, and Universe to quickly shut down S4 as he's done all the same. Oh, Ana with the great save will be able to make it. As he ball light up into the trees. Oh, poor Fly though. Poor Fly was spotted, and Universe, man, he's been a serious bully this game.
He has, and like with the Yules now, it's super easy to kill the Storm Spirit.
Absolute terror to S4 in particular.
I think maybe even on Batter, like no, he's just you have to keep versus the next assassin. There's just no other way to play around the Carapace.
Before this could be it, the final hurrah with the tier 3 down and the Rax is exposed and no lift. This has certainly got to be it. If OG can't hold, this game is over. Jumping from Ana, quickly up. Sort of the back end. This is going to be good for OG. The don't lie shortly after it's over. Ana's in. But he gets X and he gets pulled right back into under them. Clips our team. Middix and Rids, all the illusions, and looking over for Jerick's now, but Jerick's going to get the grade. The rest of bullying and pushing back the rest of the team. This was the first to be dropped. The Rax has gone down the Mega and EG. Well, look, they've done it, and they're going to be squared up again. Be in the grand final. EG, ridiculous series. Got to give props to both teams that swung for it. OG fall back to the Naga once in game 3, and he will pay for it. Match the farm by Naga. Put it on steroids. Welcome it.